Chump change. That's what Earl Woods called it. Tiger Woods' first deal back in 1996. It's like he knew that Tiger and Nike would be a match made in heaven. We're MNLH Golf. That's Brett. I'm Nate. We're talking about this today because of a report that came out just a few days ago that there might be a Tiger and Nike split. That would be really something. Can you think of any other associations that have had the staying power and the notoriety that these two have?
I can't. We did a little research. The biggest name was MJ and Nike. Like that was the biggest duo
Another
ever.
Nike, big surprise. They nailed it, man. It's crazy. His first deal, Tiger Woods, that is, back in 1996, before he had even won a tournament, was $40 million.
5 years.
That at the time outpaced MJ's deal. And MJ started back in 94. By this time in 96, he had the Air Jordan brand, the shoes, the whole bit. And they gave Tiger Woods more money than they were giving MJ at that moment. I know these deals have changed and progressed over time. What has that looked like in the
So
last years?
1996, it was a 5 year for 40 million, and then he re-signed in 2001 a 5 year for $100 million, and then 2006 after that 5 years he went for 8 years, anywhere from 20 to 40 million dollars per year. After that was up in 2013 until now, it's been reported close to $200 million. And to put that into perspective, MJ has made about 1.8 billion from Nike, but Tiger's 96 contract outpaced MJ's contract at that time.
Right, right. And so that 2013 contract, it was actually like an undisclosed amount, so that's why, it's reportedly close to
Asterisk next
200
to that one.
million. Yeah, but I mean, either way, it's an insane number. They were fairly confident that he would end his career with Nike, but as I just mentioned, and as we've heard in the last couple of days, first reported by No Laying Up, actually, it sounds like the PNC, which is the father son tournament coming up here in a couple of days, might be the end of the Tiger Nike marriage. We thought, Brett and I, that we would take you through a little bit of a timeline of Tiger and Nike. Uh I'll start with this because it's really interesting. In 1996, they created a logo specifically for Tiger Woods. It had zero staying power. If you remember, it was almost like a yin yang sort of
Like a Buick
odd,
old symbol,
yeah, like
Oldsmobile.
an old looking Buick symbol that in 1998 they changed and it became the TW logo that you and I know today. Um, when I think of like iconic brands associated with players, obviously the Air Jordans are kind of A1, but that TW is just as powerful as Steph Curry's shoes or Kevin Durant's shoes or like the LeBron line of shoes. There's not a line of clothing or shoe or athletic equipment that I think has more notoriety than the TW. Can you think of anything?
No, I mean, if you're in the basketball world, Iversons, I mean, all that stuff. You name some shoes, all that stuff. One that kind of came to mind that doesn't have to do with sports is like Yeezys. Kanye's West clothing brand, but that's something far off into another distant world.
Yeah, but you're right. You're right. But I think that TW has more is more recognizable even than those.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, he has a symbol. I mean, when you think about the Currys or any of those other stuff, Durant, they don't have like a symbol per se. Like in Air Jordan, he had the Jordan going for a dunk. You know what I mean? And then
Yeah.
it's
I mean,
there's nothing else like it.
exactly. And big surprise, both are Nike. No other company, Adidas, whatever, has been able to tie themselves to that. And it was easy, in what was it, 2001 and 2006 to give him these massive deals. He's a world beater. He's crushing everybody on the PGA Tour. He is. I don't have stats to back this up, but I seem to recall that next to the face of Jesus, he was the most recognizable face, like picture in the world because people just knew him. He had grown to that level of recognition. So it was easy. And then 2009 hit and all the scandal and all the this and all the
Scandal. It's
that.
drugs, money, and power. I mean, just women went straight to his head and crashed some cars, and drama spilt into the news.
He took a leave of absence from golf. He lost because in addition to Nike, he had Gatorade, and I'm gonna miss some, but he had Tag Heuer, the watch company, right? American Express, Buick. He had all these companies that were just paying him tons of money, and they dropped him. Nike did not. Um, do you remember the video? And I don't know if it's easy to switch to this or maybe it's not. The video that I sent you, um, or it's listed as Earl and Tiger Woods Nike commercial. Nike, I want to say, capitalized on that, took advantage. I don't want to say took advantage in a bad way, but was able to realize that he's still Tiger Woods. And the commercial I'm talking about is actually Earl Woods' voice. And is that something we're gonna be able to pull up or no?
I can't pull that up.
Okay, no, that's fine. It's Earl saying, "I'm more prone to be inquisitive, to ask why," and it's just a picture of Tiger. Like, what were you thinking? And then they faded to black, and up came the swoosh. I mean, they just basically took like he moved the needle. And if you go back to our last video, you saw that when we talked about what can players do to market themselves. Everybody associates Tiger with the swoosh and the Sunday red. I mean, he did everything for them. Interestingly, another stat I can throw at you is in 1995, Nike Golf did $30 million of sales of revenue or whatever. By 1998, by now Tiger's won a few majors. He's won some tournaments. He's notable. $300 million in sales. I mean, it matters.
It does. To have a face like that, it really does. And now I think they're splitting ways because soon some news is going to come out that he might be on some PEDs. I don't know.
If you saw that picture of him, man, on from this week's whatever it was, the Hero World Challenge, he looks like a freaking linebacker, and I don't know if that's the case or that's why, but the cracks in the sidewalk do seem to be there because he's wearing FootJoy shoes. Nike doesn't make golf equipment anymore; they haven't since 2016. I don't know where Tiger goes, but it's interesting to look at where he brought them, and man, it's going to be weird to see that divorce.
It'll be interesting.